Hey, Egg Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Well, as you can see with the lab coat, it's another time that we're going to look at kind of the science of gardening. And we're going to look at a garden pest that if you were in North Idaho, you know quite well. And in fact, it strikes gardeners all across the United States. And that is earwigs. Yep, we're going to look at that garden pest that does a lot of damage to, your garden vegetables. It's annoying. They do fly. They have little pincers on their back, but it doesn't really pinch. And I've dealt with them before in other gardening things that I've done, but not as bad with vegetables as I did with them attacking my mason bees. Yeah, they were quite big predators of my mason bee larvae. So let's go on over to the garden. We're going to look at what's going on and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Well, it's 95 degrees in the garden, and as you can see through this zucchini leaf, you can see the leaf of the lab coat. The very hot, stuffy lab coat that's making me sweat in this 95-degree heat. So I think I'm going to take it off for the duration of this video where we talk about earwigs and how they're damaging our zucchini and what we're doing to try to treat our earwig infestation without using chemicals. We're just going to use traps. Ready? Still in the lab coat. Oh, hold on. Hey, Egg Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with a video straight out of the zucchini patch. Unfortunately, the holy earwig attacked zucchini patch. So for the last few weeks, I've been running some experiments on my zucchini patch to try to control earwigs. Now, earwigs are doing a lot of damage to my zucchini. They are absolutely shredding the leaves. I mean, this is fresh damage from last night. They are just absolutely munching on it. And it's time that we do something about it. So I've been running an experiment with something that I saw online, and I did my own little tweak of it, and it didn't work quite well. So I'm going to try something else. And that deals with these right there. So first, before we go ahead and open up our earwig traps, we're going to go ahead and prepare our solution to send them off to the garden in the sky. So bring you on over and let's see what we're using. So this is going to be a pretty basic trap, trap clearance system. So here I have a tub. I have about 1.5 gallons of water, and then I have some Dawn dishwashing liquid. So the Dawn dishwashing liquid, we're going to use that to break the surface tension and allow the earwigs to sink. And then as the earwigs sink, they will, it's probably the most humane way that we could do this. We're going to go ahead and mix this in, adding, about 1 quart of water is really all that we will need. Now, I have been using different types of traps. So you might have seen my clay pot for my snail traps. That's snail leavings in there. And those work okay, but as those pots heat up, the residents of them tend to flee. So we're going to try to use something that can stay a little bit cooler, and we're going to try to test it out compared to our 2 different types of traps. So yeah, earwig traps. That's what we're working on. Now let's first kind of do a baseline with our basic earwig trap, which was based off of one I saw on the internet where they used clay pots and packing paper from online orders, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this. So you can see there's a 4-inch nursery pot and some brown packing paper in there. And you just open it up over the top. And we got our first earwig. And then, of course, we have a snail. So we'll throw them in there too. This will just allow us to collect everything. Okay, that's it. That's the first trap. 1 earwig. Okay, crumple the paper back up and you throw it back in there. Kind of move this around. The zucchini are getting big. I need to cut them today. Now, let's open up one of our first traps that I kind of came up with as a method. So this is regular cardboard. I soaked it in water last night, and then between the corrugations of the cardboard, I'm connecting them with bobby pins that I got at the dollar store. So this is waste cardboard and bobby pins. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, see what we've got. Yeah, that was disappointing. Well, it is an experiment. So 0 in that one. To be fair, I have been packing or trapping in here for a little while. Go ahead and keep leaving those. Grab our next couple of traps. So the whole idea behind these traps is that, well, snails like them, is that the earwigs like to have places to go hide at night or as daylight comes around, and the brown paper offers them that option. So there's an earwig there. So they would normally hide in like cramped little spaces, rolled up leaves, things like that. So we offer the brown paper as a hiding space. And then I go out every morning, like right now, and I empty that paper in those containers. No more earwigs. And the earwigs succumb rather quickly. Again, we're just using dishwashing liquid. I don't really like using insecticides in amongst my vegetables. So that's why we're using the cardboard traps and the paper traps. Here's one where the cardboard still got a lot of moisture in it. So we're going to go ahead and open this one, and you open them over the top of your collection solution. That's a good term to call it. Collection solution. We open it up, and well, I found a lot of pill bugs. So it's working for something. It's just not working for earwigs. All right, close that back up. Put that back in. Honestly, you know, when you trap as many times as I have in here, you're bound to have started clearing out the earwigs, but they're still doing an incredible amount of damage. And I just kind of place them in there willy-nilly. There's that. I'll go open that one. Oh, there's one earwig. Okay, so that was our first earwig in the earwig trap using cardboard. We'll go ahead and put it back together. So we just kind of slip those in through the corrugations. It holds it shut, and it allows for there to be a large space in between. We'll go ahead and open up our last few earwig traps. So there's you know, these are collecting snails too. Okay, another snail. No earwigs in that one. And we'll open up our last little trap. So as you can see, we went through quite a few traps, and we didn't get a lot of earwigs. We did get a bunch of snails. So we're going to go out and look at some of our other trapping locations. Here's a bunch of the tomatoes. That's a higher moisture. Yeah, just pill bugs. Just pill bugs in that one. Well, that was a nice idea. All right, so in here we have had a lot of stink bugs attacking the Roma tomatoes. Those that are getting ripened or close to ripening are having issues with stink bugs on them. It's like this. It's causing them to rot. So we're going to try, see if the cardboard traps can help take care of those. Guess helpful hint, don't shove the bobby pins all the way down. Be harder to open the traps. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that trap in. So there we go. There is another version of an earwig trap. Wasn't super successful this time. And I know it's partially because I've been trapping a lot to really control those earwigs. And I don't know, they've just done such a number on my stuff that I think it's time to let them go away. And we've got a beautiful crop of Romas to start harvesting. Probably about 50 pounds of it is set right now. And that's all sauce for my wife to make her lovely spaghetti sauce. And yeah, I'll keep doing some other types of traps. I know we're going to start dealing with squash bugs on the zucchini soon. I am seeing them in some of the other garden plants that I have. They like the tomatoes a lot, apparently, and some of the other nightshade family plants that I have. So we'll see how we do that. But there you go. There's another version of a trap. Just seeing how well it's working. Mixed results, but we'll see what it does in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And if you want to get a part of the super secret group that is on Patreon, where we're doing an experiment that I don't show on this channel, you can get all those updates there. It's just $5 a month, and that Lime membership goes to help support the channel and help us grow and cover all of the expenses we encounter while we do this. I mean, even if you don't subscribe to Patreon, I'm still going to do weird experiments, but at least there you get an extra special treat and get to see some stuff that that's not here on YouTube. Maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year, maybe 2 years. But that stuff's going to stay on Patreon right now because it's ultra super top secret. And yeah, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. As always, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. Ag Teacher Thoughts out. Yeah, I'm going to dispatch the snails quicker.